Blog Talk Radio.
Something's gone wrong. For all our vigilance and battle scars over the Bill of Rights, we let the flame of freedom's torch grow cold. Because there can be no torch to pass where there's no flame. Freedom has only one enemy it cannot defeat, and that is negligence. So your presence here, now, today, is an act of reverence. Of all man's works beneath the heavens, none shines brighter than our Constitution. I think Jefferson and Paine, Adams, Madison, Mason, Franklin, I think they're looking down right now at us. I think they understand what we're trying to do, what we strive to do. Every time our country stands in the path of danger, an instinct seems to summon her finest first, those who truly understand her. When freedom shivers in the cold shadow of true peril, it's always the patriots who first hear the call. When loss of liberty is looming, as it is now, the siren sounds first in the hearts of freedom's vanguard.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Freedomlink Radio on Super Bowl Sunday. Glad to see so many of you are able to come out and talk about the current issues, the issues that are really important to us, and not the good old Super Bowl. Griff, how you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing just fine. I'm excited about being here with you, Joe.
Well,
can you hear my excitement?
I can hear it. Oh, it's just permeating the room here.
I'm making a pot of coffee right now, and I'm going to get all caffeined up for the next 2 hours.
Well, that's great. I look forward to that, Griff, especially the caffeinated Griff. That's the one thing that's really, really good. Hey, John, are you there, buddy?
Yes, I am, and for the record, Skype sucks balls.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, John.
You're very welcome.
Always PC. Anyway, folks, tonight we're going to be discussing a whole host of issues, and Griff, I know I said I'm not going to have a guest tonight, but I kind of have a guest, but then again I don't, because he's not really a guest. He's more of a friend of the show. So let me bring on Andrew. Andrew, you there?
Yes, I am.
Oh, fantastic. So, guys, I wanted to talk about this and maybe get your feedback. And I know Griff's answer already is it doesn't matter. But it matters to me. We have the President of the United States knowing full well we're running a $1.5 trillion budget deficit. And he's throwing a Super Bowl party at the White House and having people like J-Lo and everybody else go over and attend. And to me, that's just kind of a slap in the face to every hard-working or out-of-work American out there. It's kind of like, you know what? I don't care where this money came from or who's paying for it. I'm gonna live the high life, you know. Go on my vacations, you know, watch the Super Bowl with my buds, you know, eat some bratwurst. What do you guys think about that, Griff? What do you think about that?
Well, I think we established the answer to that some time ago. He's obviously a fascist. He's obviously trying to bring the country down. He's obviously trying to stir chaos and confusion and anger among the people. And that is obviously his game plan. And he's going to continue doing that.
Andrew, what do you think, buddy?
Oh, you know, I'd kind of like to go have some bratwurst myself, but you know, it's exactly what you said. It's just a slap in the face. You know,
it really is.
It's the president. I would like to think the U.S. president should be able to do that during the Super Bowl, but on the total other end, it's a giant slap in the face to everyone that can't get a job while the whole financial system's completely just going up. You know.
Well, John, I mean, I would think that you'd feel the strongest out of all of us here. What do you think?
As I was telling you earlier, Joe, about the red pill and the blue pill, of course, most people know what that is, and Can we fault the guy for actually doing the American thing? I mean, it's as American. The Super Bowl is as American as mom and apple pie. Many people say that when you take the red pill and wake up and realize the BS that's going on around you, you can't take the blue pill and fall back asleep. But as I had said earlier, there is another pill that's unspoken, and that pill is the yellow pill. And the yellow pill basically counteracts the effects of the red pill just temporarily, as we see many people who are awake today fall asleep for just a few hours and forget the woes of the world and slip into a little bit of unconsciousness and watch the game.
You know, Griff, is it bad? Is it bad that people do that? Do you think that that's a bad thing to be able to take a break from it all and just say, man, you know, I just need to escape for a couple hours, you know, try and hit the reset button.
Joe, you're on the damn Titanic. You're on the Titanic, people.
You mean they didn't take a break when it was sinking?
A lot of people did exclaim it was cold outside and they wanted to go back in the ballroom. And that's found in the records of the Titanic.
Oh yeah, no,
and
I mean
it's the same thing. You know, we're way beyond expressing emotion about the president doing stuff like that. He is not a president of the United States. He is deliberately undermining every agency. He's put con men and criminals in charge of agencies that are just an embarrassment. They're an embarrassment to the agencies and to the country and to the American people. Now we can keep talking about all of these incidents over and over and over and over, and miss the fact that the bottom of the ship has disappeared and we're going down.
Oh, that's absolutely right. You know, it's funny, they place so much emphasis on the Super Bowl that the rest of the state of Texas is going through rolling blackouts because the power grid is so taxed due to the cold weather and the ice and everything else. But, boy, they have the power to give to that stadium to have that football game, don't they?
Joe, you talk to the older people in the United States, and pardon me for doing this again to you, but I know you must personally get tired of hearing me say this, but it's so true. The World War II or the Korean veterans would go up there and kick ass. They wouldn't take this crap. But this generation, they have different mindset. They're different. They don't react. It's like their brains are dead. It's like they're doing everything that they're taught to do or are expected to do by government, and they say, well, we have to do that.
And why not, Cliff?
Why not?
Yeah, why not? I mean, think about it.
Do you want to die?
No, think about it. You're absolutely right. It's kind of like I said on the last show, you know. Sanity has become insanity, and insanity's become where it was the thing to do to prepare. It was the thing to do to be ready for any sort of disaster and not say, you know, the government's there for me. Now it's you look like a freak if you're preparing.
The
people
director
look at
of
you
hatcheries,
like you've got 3 heads.
The director of hatcheries told the girls to take Soma pills and feel pneumatic and have fun.
Little Aldous Huxley, huh?
A little Newspeak and some other stuff, and up is down and down is up. And
that's right. And
let's go feed the
Bible talks about, and the Bible talks about that as well. You know, the Bible foretells that this type of behavior is going to happen. So not only do we have that's my wife just chimed in and said, you know, the Bible verses, they will call evil good and good evil. And here we are.
That's what's happening.
That's exactly right.
So the only thing we really need to get serious with our broadcast and with the information we're putting out. We have been doing this for a long time. People are not acting on a lot of it, and I think we should get into conversation about that. And tonight would be a good time to do it. Now, what do we need to be doing right now to prepare to protect self and family? I dare say the majority of the people are not prepared. They couldn't last 6 months, 3 months. let alone a year or 2 years or 3 years. Well, what's going to happen after a year or 2 years? This is not coming back. The ships bringing food to America are not going to come back.
Let me pose this to you, Griff. Prepare for what?
Total collapse.
But what's going to be the event that causes the total collapse? That's my question.
I would think that the financial degradation, the collapse of the American dollar would be a good start. It could very well be that. Now, with that, you have military hits on weather, on flooding, food crop destruction. You have increase in various diseases. The power grids are fragile. They will go down one way or another in various places. You're having rationing right now of fuel and electricity, and you really don't have bad times yet.
Right.
So,
right.
And transportation will stop. Fuel oil will stop. You have 20, 30 million people in the Gulf of Mexico that are there on borrowed time. They don't realize that they're dying right now, but soon they will. And what's going to happen when 30 million people start heading north with nothing at the end of their journey?
John King, you got a comment?
Yeah, Griff. I think one of the main reasons why people aren't up in arms today is because the generation we have now, the 30-somethings and the 20-somethings, they're all selfish, and they're the gimme, gimme, gimme generation. They have not had to work for anything that they've had, whereas your generation, Griff, if you wanted to eat, you had to hitch up the team and go plow the field. Today's generation, everything's instant. I got to have it. I want it. No excuses. Give it to me, and I want it right now. And they've been spoon-fed for so long, they don't know how to fight for themselves. They've been feminized.
Yes. You know, I grew up, I was born in Richmond, Virginia, and I consider myself a Southerner. And I have a lot of passions, as you very well know, about Southern history and the wrongs and the rewriting of history and all of the lies and deceit put on the South. But as a young child, I grew up in Detroit, Michigan, of all places for a nice Southern lad to be. And it was nice back in the 40s. There was nothing wrong with that. And I remember the house and playing in the yard and all of my friends. And recently I looked at the house on Google. The house is still there. The garage fell down. The house is valued at high price of $7,000, and it was in a good neighborhood. That house should be worth $200,000, but the neighborhood is in shambles. They're burning the houses down. They're burning their own houses down and letting them fall down, so the whole city is turning into a ghost town. And my God, it's like a punch in the stomach to me to look at that. Where I grew up, and the people didn't have enough respect for themselves to take care of their own property and cut their grass, and on welfare, and we're paying for their. It just blows my mind.
When did it all start, Griff?
I think it started a long time ago, but it probably started turning around gradually under Roosevelt, and then it accelerated and accelerated. But in more recent times, I think the spike started really going up, and groups of people were used just like the people in Egypt are being used. Those people didn't voluntarily one day say they're going out into the square and riot for freedom and democracy and government. It has nothing to do with it. Those people are being used. They think some of those people believe they're doing it for that and a better way of life, but they're being used. And groups of people in the United States have been used for other agendas.
Now, I will say this, that to stereotype the entire generation and say that they're all bad eggs, that's kind of not fair to, because I'm one of them. And so is Andrew, and so is John, and my wife, and anybody else out there that's my age, and I'm 35. But I will say that you're absolutely right. It's been a general conditioning of people over generations, not just this generation. It's been a gradual decomposition, I guess you could say. What do you think, Andrew?
Man, to speak on that, it's just hard. It has been very gradual until recently. until recently. I'd say that. I have a friend, just like Griff was saying about Detroit. I have a friend that just moved down here from Detroit, and he said it's just getting so crazy. He was a gangster. He said it's getting so crazy there he couldn't even stay anymore.
It is.